The limitations are so huge that they don't provide the necessary funds or resources in order to avoid the necessity that family has to put children in work. That happens in rural areas, for instance, that you can see child labor in a very worse situations. But mostly is that that economic situation of countries that are facing this sort of problem could be improved. And how do we improve that most of the products that they produce could enter in a market in a very competition way in order to have more money to allocate it to programs related to community action, to divert it to another activities, perhaps having micro enterprises as Bangladesh is doing, that is family working, but family working not in hazardous conditions, and also in order to put in a way that children could be put out from this situation. In general terms, it's not easy to specify what type of action could be done if it's not the willing of the whole society to do so. And of course, with the action of the international community that will provide the ways in order to develop programs that could gradually avoid the situation of child labor.
I'd like to take that second question, which was who is responsible, governments, multinational corporations, or consumers? And the answer is all of the above, all three. But that's not the point. The point is not who is responsible. The point is what can be done about it. That's the real question. And to that the answer has been given by Ambassador Loayza-Barea, that nothing can be done unless we get rid of poverty, because the top-down approach of just passing laws will not result in something. You need a bottom-up approach of trying to address it from the bottom upwards. We have time for a quick question from each university. Lockhaven, quick question for a quick answer.
Hello, my name is Kat Birdsey. I'm a sophomore at Lockhaven University. And my question is, when addressing issues on child rights, such as child labor and child marriage, how do you distinguish between what is a country's culture and what is a violation of child's rights?
Beautiful question. This, this is the big headache in the United Nations, and not just in the UN, but in the world. This is the problem of what is called cultural diversity vis-à-vis universal norms. You have differences between cultures. Some cultures say women should be going around in miniskirts, others say they should be wearing black tents. And now you want to know what is the universal norm there. Do women, should they be going around in tents, or should they be going around in miniskirts, or should they have the right to decide? Where is that dividing line between cultural diversity and universal norm? And the tent part is the easy part. The difficult part is when some cultures say female genital mutilation is part of our culture, and therefore we will do it. And you say, but you can't be destroying your own body. And they say, yes, but men do it, and you don't object. But when women do it, then you object. And so the argument gets deeper and deeper. And the problem is, where do you draw the line between universal norms and cultural diversity? Now, you can't destroy cultural diversity, because one of the greatness of the world is that we are different. That you eat tortillas, I eat noodles, and somebody else eats pizzas. That's the beauty of the world. If all of us were the same universal norm, all of us eating only hamburgers, it would be a very sad world indeed. So you have to defend cultural diversity. But at the same time, you have a certain loyalty towards higher norms, which are spiritual, Some of them are contained in the Ten Commandments and in spiritual teachings. Others are contained in secular moral teachings of consensus drafted around a table, like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. But there is no answer to your question, because you say choose between one and the other. Nobody can choose. Cultural diversity is important, universal norms are important, and each one of us has to decide in our own conscience where is the dividing line going to be in a specific case. I'm sorry for a complex answer, but to a very good question, and congratulations to you for having thought of it. Over to Roger Williams for a quick question from that end.
Good morning. My name is Katie Blythe. I'm a junior at Roger Williams University. I have a quick question. Given the many issues surrounding children's rights, we were interested in hearing what partners from civil society are assisting UNICEF. At Roger Williams University, we have the One campaign. We wonder, what other ways can students become involved?
Good question. What are the NGOs doing?
Thank you for the question. That's a very, very important, very positive question. As I mentioned in this very interesting conversation, I think civil society has the main role in order to contribute precisely to the task of UNICEF. What you're doing is one of the various examples that are all around the world. But I can tell you, NGOs are working very close with UNICEF. Communities are working very close with UNICEF. Churches, religions, activities are working with UNICEF. So everybody is involved in the activities of UNICEF in different areas. So part of that is that you have to encourage other universities to do something for UNICEF as well, and you can contribute a lot in that way. Thank you.
Over to TNEC. Over to TNEC for a quick question from TNEC.
I think what I'd like to try to address is why the United States hasn't signed on to your proposal. I personally have taken a look at all these resolutions and the optional protocols. I don't think they're complete enough. Yes, we probably have taken a huge major stance in helping you draft resolutions, but I truly believe that when you're talking about a child being taken care of to the age of 18, if we cannot enforce that on other countries, then this is just a piece of paper. We have 190 some countries. They've signed this. It's a piece of paper. The issue is, what are they doing about it? What are they doing to fight the corruption? What are they doing to disarm so that a child does not have to carry an AK-47 or put themselves strapped into a bomb to say, I'm dying for Allah? These are the issues. It is a piece of paper. It does not carry weight when you have countries that will continue to follow their own cultural norms and corrupt their own citizens. I'd like to know your views on what I just said.
Let me take it first, because I think that's slightly unfair. It's unfair because the United Nations, UNICEF, the whole concept of multilateralism is not the establishment of world government. It is a process. And the process is that we say, don't try to do things alone, come and sit around a table and let us discuss and let us see where is the majority or the consensus opinion.